As we approach the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence in 2026, it's important to remember why that moment mattered. It wasn't just a break from a king, it was a declaration that no single person would ever again hold absolute power over the American people. And 11 years later, in 1787, our forefathers turned that promise into a system, the Constitution, deliberately designed to withstand pressure, corruption, and even leaders who might try to stretch their authority. In 2037, that Constitution will reach its own 250-year milestone, a quarter millennium of checks, limits, and civic safeguards. They expected challenges. They expected fear. They expected moments when the nation would be tested. And history shows exactly how right they were. Every generation has faced its own version of authoritarian behavior, and every time the Constitution supported by the people pushed back, not by accident, not by luck, but because the system was built for moments like these. Just 22 years after independence, in 1798, President John Adams, in office 1797 to 1801, signed the Alien and Sedition Acts, which jailed people from criticizing the government. And yet, even in that moment, the system corrected itself. The people voted him out, the laws died, and the Constitution held. During the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln, in office 1861 to 1865, suspended habeas corpus and expanded executive power during the nation's darkest hour. And yet, even in that moment, the system corrected itself. After the war, the courts and Congress restored constitutional limits. During World War I, President Woodrow Wilson, in office 1913 to 1921, jailed Americans for speech under the Espionage Act of 1917 and the Sedition Act of 1918, and yet, even in that moment, the system corrected itself. The laws were narrowed and free speech protections grew stronger. In 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, in office 1933 to 1945, ordered the internment of Japanese Americans through Executive Order 9066, and yet, even in that moment, the system corrected itself. Decades later, the nation apologized and paid reparations through the Civil Liberties Act of 1988. During Watergate, President Richard Nixon, in office 1969 to 1974, used federal power against political enemies, and yet, even in that moment, the system corrected itself. The press exposed it, Congress investigated, the courts ruled, and he resigned in 1974. And now here we are today in another moment where many Americans' legal experts and human rights organizations are raising concerns about federal overreach. In Minnesota, a surge of ICE and Border Patrol agents in late 2025 and early 2026 led a series of incidents that drew national attention, including the fatal shootings of a U.S. citizen, Renee Nicole Good, which Human Rights Watch described as unjustifiable. After reviewing video evidence that contradicted official claims, reports also documented multiple civil rights violations during this search, including wrongful detention of U.S. citizens, aggressive stops, and mistaken arrests during everyday activities. News outlets noted that this deployment was part of the broader federal enforcement effort tied to the Trump administration's immigration priorities in Minneapolis. These events sparked statewide protests, legal challenges, and public demands for accountability. And even in this moment, the system continues to operate the way the founders intended. Courts are hearing cases. States and city leaders are pushing back. Journalists are reporting. Citizens are speaking up. Elections are still taking place. And the constitutional framework, the one built in 1787, is doing exactly what it was designed to do: absorb pressure, distribute power, and prevent any single leader or agency from becoming greater than the system itself. When you look across 250 years, a pattern became clear. We survived because the Constitution created limits. We survived because the people used their voice. We survived because no president, no matter how powerful, could override the entire system. We survived because every branch of government had the authority to check the others. We survived because ordinary Americans refused to stay silent. This is the design. This is the safeguard. This is the legacy of 1776, 1787, and the 250 years that followed. So as we reach this 250-year milestone, let's remember this is not the first time America has been tested, and it will not be the last. But every time we've made it through, not by fear, but by civic duty, not by silence, but by clarity, not by division, but by standing together for truth. Go Hawks, Super Bowl 60. My name is Sherilyn. I stand in solidarity for truth. This is my civic duty.